founder of Horsepower International. I want to tell you a little bit about me and my programs that I have to offer. I've always been really interested in horses ever since I was little, in addition to my dream of becoming a veterinarian, which I did realize. And then as a veterinarian, I naturally thought of taking care of horses, but I very quickly figured out that I didn't enjoy taking care of horses that were sick or injured. And so I moved away from that, having horses as a practicing veterinarian. And then the fact that I have an international multilingual background and I wanted to make my parents happy, I ended up going into a corporate career. And I was specialized in human health risk assessment. And then it took me 15 years really to figure out that my success ladder at the time was really leaning on somebody else's wall, which was the wall of my parents. And so that was the start of a personal and professional transformation that included the discovery of Linda Kohanoff's work that I'm so honored to be presenting with her at this summit. And so I became a certified EponaQuest instructor in 2013, and I created my business, Horsepower International, in 2014 here. This is on location in my home in the beautiful Loire Valley region in France. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a lovely place to live in. And I'm also about to become an intentional creativity instructor in November in 2016, and this is a powerful creative approach that uses a focused intention with art to bring new professional and personal projects to life and to transform lives, putting people back in touch with their creative inner child in a way. And those two combined is my vision. I want to transform the world of business into a place where non-predatory leadership, mutual aid, and cooperation become the predominant methods of working. And I want to do that by transforming the people who work in it, using my horse-powered pathfinding programs associated with intentional creativity. So the workshops I provide help people learn the concepts and the tools associated with non-predatory leadership, and then they can practice that immediately with my herd of 5 horses here. And the horses provide a fantastic neutral, nonverbal feedback, which is a great way to experience non-predatory leadership in action. The workshop themes I teach touch on team dynamics, leadership, and career or personal transition, personal space and leadership, motivation, commitment, career or life transitions. And I can also develop a custom workshop for individuals or for a project team or a business team. And I develop that after a discussion with them about what their needs and their goals are. The workshops are usually located here in my beautiful Loire Valley home. They can be anywhere in the world. They can be with or without horses. With the horses, we're practicing the non-predatory leadership aspects, and without the horses we're focusing on the creativity aspects, and both are very powerful tools used separately or combined. What I hope after people see my presentation at the summit and participate in my workshop, Create Your Legendary Horse, I hope that people start to understand that the answers that they're seeking in their career and in their life can be found really within themselves, and they can start learning to do that by learning to listen to their body and understanding the information conveyed by their emotions while they connect to the creative being that's always there inside with everyone, even the people who say they can't draw and they're not artistic. The creative being's just been locked away and is still there. And this is really the best way to find one's professional and personal horse-powered path. So this is Lorraine, the horse-powered pathfinder. I'm out here with some of my horses, so I can share with you how I transform my own life story through working with them. It's through an approach that I learned called the EponaQuest approach, developed by Linda Kohanoff, that helped me access my authentic inner self. And I learned also how to set boundaries with people. And thanks to intentional creativity also, I was able to access my inner creative self. And I'd like to share all those tools with people who have had similar experience that I have, In particular, I'm thinking of offering sessions with adults and children, especially who are gifted. It helps them learn better to manage their emotions and to access their creative self. To present my SoulWork project, which is part of completing my Color of Women training in intentional creativity that I want to add to my horse healing work. Intentional creativity has the philosophy of creating mindfully by accessing the creative source that's in all human beings. It's a way to reconnect with one's true self. As children, every one of us drew and painted, and that creative source is still present within us, but many of us have lost touch with it. Intentional creativity provides a way to reconnect with that internal source of joy and well-being, and it's also a powerful way to visualize the life that we want to live. So, my soul work is all about combining where I'm coming from and what I've learned up to now with what I've integrated and learned through intentional creativity. The idea I have is to combine intentional creativity approaches with the approaches I've used and learned to use working with horses to also help people access their inner self and feel better about themselves. So I'm thinking that these two approaches combined could be very powerful, and I would use them in workshops. One example of an idea I have combining my work with horses with intentional creativity work is the 13-step workshop that I'm going to run. And I'm calling it the Warrior of the Heart, Summon Your Heart Warrior. And the idea is to teach people through working with the horses and with intentional creativity to be able to open their heart to receiving positive energy and people, but while protecting also themselves fiercely from people that drain you or from negative types of energy. So the idea behind that would be working with intentional creativity and visioning to see your heart warrior, kind of the guardian of your heart. What would that personality look like? And then to learn to access it by practicing with the horses. Horses are really good at teaching people to set boundaries. And so teaching people what it feels like in their body when they set a boundary to keep others from invading their space. And it can be their physical space, their emotional space, or their spiritual space. And horses are a really good way to practice this. So that's one idea, a suggestion of a combination of intentional creativity method with my horse healing work. Another example where I use intentional creativity theme but with a horse kind of inspiration is the medicine basket red thread session. I adapted that to an audience of people who work with horses at a summit on horses and healing that took place recently in Arizona. And I used the medicine basket intentional creativity red thread session theme adapted to horse lovers, so I called it Meet Your Legendary Horse and Find Out What's in Your Soulful Saddlebags. So what I did was the saddlebags replaced the medicine basket, and in the guided meditation I had people meet their legendary horse. For most horse people, there's always been that one special horse in their life that really meant something to them or that brought a transformation to them. So I have them meet that special horse, and that horse is carrying their soulful saddlebags. And then, as in the medicine basket meditation, they go through a stony landscape, through an arch, and meet a group of people who are excited to meet them and discover what they have to share, their unique gifts. And these unique gifts in the meditation then are in the saddlebags that are on their horse. And so after the meditation, then they wrote down the gifts that they had, and they painted the saddlebags and put the gifts inside them. And they really liked that session. That was a session that went really well. So that's another example of using intentional creativity linked to my horse healing. So that concludes my SoulWork project presentation. I hope you enjoyed it and that I'll see some of you soon in one of my workshops.